Welcome to the Swift, Certain, and Fair Performance Measures training. My name is Finesse Marino-Rivera, and I'm a Supporting Research Associate for SCF. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to learn more about SCF's performance measures and how to report them in the PMT system. Today, we'll be discussing 1, performance measures reporting review, 2, questionnaire structure, 3, common reporting challenges, and 4, frequently asked questions. At the end of this training, you should walk away with a better understanding of why BJA requires you to report performance measures and how we use this information. During the training, you'll get an in-depth review of SCF's specific reporting and some issues we see in the reporting. This section of the training will provide an overview of performance measures and the reporting process. So what exactly is the PMT? The Performance Measurement Tool is the online data collection tool for Office of Justice Programs grant recipients. It is structured as an online questionnaire and is available year-round. The PMT contains lots of information and tools to assist you in your reporting. So let's take a look. This table outlines the type of data you'll be reporting each reporting period, when your reports are due in the PMT, and whether you also need to upload your reports to GMS. As you can see from the alternating values under the second column, you'll only report on the narrative questions in January, July, and during your last reporting period of grant activity, regardless of where that falls on the schedule. As you can see from the table, the PMT is only open for data entry during the month after reporting period closes. The PMT is accessible year-round for you to review and edit your data, generate reports, and more. You will need to contact the PMT Help Desk to help you unlock reports as needed. The first page of each performance measure questionnaire outlines additional resources that may be helpful as you report. It includes reminders about the program's goals and objectives and lists contact information for the PMT Help Desk and state policy advisors if you need to reach out with any questions. We'd like to know each program's goals and objectives as a reminder of why we are asking you to fill out this questionnaire each quarter. The measures are ultimately there to assess your progress toward the SCF program's goal, which is to improve responses to offender behavior in accordance with the principles of swiftness, certainty, and fairness in order to prevent recidivism and reduce crimes in your jurisdiction. We also have a reporting tip on the slide. These reporting tips may appear throughout the presentation where we think there's additional information that can help clarify PMT reporting. This one highlights that some grantees find it easier to track that required data outside the PMT in smaller time increments, maybe by week or by month, and then add it all together when it's time to report in the PMT to get the reporting period totals. We strongly encourage you to use whatever approach makes it easier for you to report your totals each reporting period. So what are performance measures? Performance measures are composed of inputs, activities, outputs, and outcomes. Inputs refer to program resources. Examples include grant funding, like where we ask about your program's funding, baseline recidivism numbers, and baseline policies and protocol data. Activities are the actions that convert inputs to outputs that eventually result in measurable progress towards the program's goals. These can include things like trainings, meetings, partnership development, data analysis, and the use of recidivism sanctions. Outputs are the countable products or services that result from these actions. These may include distributed workloads, staff train, hours spent in certain sanctions, and current updated policies and protocols. Outcomes speak to longer-term program goals. Associated outcomes can, unsurprisingly, be found in the outcomes section at the end of the performance measure questionnaire. This section includes items such as days between violations of conditions of supervised release and administration of a sanction, and the number of agencies participating in the SCF initiative partnership. Performance management helps BJA and its grantees understand their progress toward key goals and objectives. We use performance measures to 1, identify successes and opportunities for improvement, 2, track grant activity and progress to inform decision-making, 3, understand funding decisions and their impact on our strategic plan, and 4, because it's required to comply with the Government Performance and Results Moderation Act. Please respond to the following polling questions on the right side of your screen. Number one, how many days after the close of the reporting period is your PMT report due? Is it A, 7, B, 15, C, 30, or D, 45? Also, for number two, how do performance measures help grantees? Is it A, inform budget, strategic planning, and future funding? B, identify successes and areas for improvement? C, inform targeted TTA, or D, all of the above? So for number one, how many days after the close of the reporting period is your PMT report due? The correct answer is C, 30. And for number two, how do performance measures help grantees? The answer is D, all of the above. Now we'll go on to the questionnaire structure. There are multiple types of questions that you will come across in the PMT, such as multiple choice, multiple responses, and open text. Additionally, there are different functions for the types of questions we ask, such as baseline, questions to collect information on activity before your grant becomes operational, and also carry forward questions, which reduces reporting burden by not requiring you to enter responses to questions where information is likely to remain stable. As mentioned in the earlier part of the training, the questions in the PMT are made up of two main categories. The first is the quantitative program performance measures. This is where you enter the numeric data you collected over the course of the reporting period. For example, how many dollars were spent on law enforcement equipment during this reporting period? The second section are the qualitative narrative questions. These questions are open-ended and do not require a numeric response. The narrative questions that are answered during the April through June and October through December reporting periods fall into this category. An example of this type of question could be, what type of equipment was purchased with BJA funding during this reporting period, or what challenges did you face in completing your program goals during the reporting period? Remember, these questions are meant to capture the full experience you have with conducting activities with BJA funds. The more information you provide, the better. The quantitative data you report is used to establish baselines, track performance against program goals, and create a nationwide picture of numeric data for BJA. Narrative questions are open-ended and give grantees a chance to express in their own words how their experience has been conducting program activities with BJA funding. Both of these categories are equally important for your reporting, and you should take every possible measure to ensure the accuracy and integrity of your data. Common reporting challenges. Grantees are required to provide a response to all mandatory measures. However, if a mandatory measure does not apply to the activities funded by your award, we ask that you enter 0 and then provide an explanation in the additional comment section once your report is complete. Upon viewing your complete report, you can select the blue Add Comments box. This will allow you to submit additional comments to explain why you're not able to provide the data. A brief description such as, we are still in our planning period, or there was no activity during the reporting period are sufficient responses. This information improves data quality by helping us understand the meaning of zeros reported in the system. There are several ways that BJA enhances data quality. We do this through quarterly data verifications and site visits. Data verifications are done by the BJA Planning, Performance, and Impact Team research analysis, analysts, and help desk support specialists. This process includes an assessment of data consistency and accuracy beyond basic automatic validations in the PMT system. Site visits are done by BJA grant managers who assess data accuracy by identifying documentation to support PMT data entry. It is important to write well-defined goals and objectives to clarify your priorities and highlight criteria for success. The SMART mnemonic walks users through important dimensions of a good goal or objective. They should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. We recommend that you reevaluate your goals twice a year to determine whether they should be updated and use data to drive the process. Please respond to the following polling questions on the right side of your screen. Number 1, which is not a component of a SMART goal? Is it A, measurable, B, assorted, C, relevant, D, time-bound? Lastly, number 2, how does BJA verify performance data? Is it A, quarterly data verifications, B, automatic PMT system validations, C, site visits, or D, all of the above? For number 1, which is not a component of the SMART goal, the answer is B, assorted. And for number 2, how does BJA verify performance data? Is D, all of the above? We'll now go over some frequently asked questions. Error messages. Follow prompts to correct any errors or discrepancies. Then click the Federal Rewards page and review the data entry status and report status columns to make sure you have completed data entry. Losing data. The PMT will time out after 30 minutes of inactivity. To avoid re-entering data, click the Save button before leaving the system or when you are finished entering data. What does the question mark mean? On the data entry page, each measure in question underlined in blue is a link to more information. Click and/or hover over the links throughout the page for a definition and instructions. Edit submitted data. If your report is locked, contact the PMT help desk to request that the report be unlocked. Update information. It is crucial for PMT users to make sure the profile page has correct and complete contact information. Please update information in the grants management system first and then update in PMT. Red buttons. Red buttons are used as indicators to the action required on that page. Select the red buttons throughout the page and it will complete the task at hand or take you to the next step. Here's the BJA PMT Help Desk contact information. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, except U.S. federal holidays. We strive to return everybody's email and phone call within 24 hours, so please don't hesitate to leave a voicemail or email even after business hours. We'll have the webinar open for about 5 to 10 minutes so you can download any handouts attached or use the Q&A box if you have any questions. A recording of today's training and other user materials and resources will be posted online. On behalf of BJA and the PMT team, thank you for your time, dedication, and hard work. This concludes the presentation, and I'll hand it back over to Katie.